Hi there, I'm Karen the Stitching Owl, and I'm here for a short extra where we are going to compare and contrast 3 different flosses. The reason I'm doing this is just to be able to say, you've got options. If you can't find DMC or your budget is a little bit tight, there are other things that you can do and still stitch lovely, lovely projects. So I stitched Loving Wishes by Robin Pickens, and you'll see that right here I've got the same pattern 2 times, 1 strand of cotton on 35 count antique white floba. Now I didn't add any beads or anything because I wanted this to be just about the thread. So I'm just going to go in so you can really see. Aha! They look identical. This guy here is Sullivan's. I had to put a marking on the back. This guy here is DMC. No difference. So the question is there a difference in general? And the answer is every number does not necessarily correlate as equally as this. Sullivan's does have its own numbering system, but they put in a little box what DMC number that particular floss correlates to. I happened to pick 353 and 352, which were extremely good matches. But there are some shades that are not, and tints that are not quite as equal as this. And in some cases, if you're doing a pattern where shading is everything, you need to cross-reference it with your DMC chart, preferably the chart that has actual threads on it, to see that you're getting the colors that you're expecting. One friend suggested that it could be as high as 1/3 of the Sullivans have a dye difference that you can actually see. In some cases it doesn't affect your stitch, and others it might. But in this case, if Sullivan's is less expensive in your neighborhood than DMC, and you've got a full range of both, it could work. I also just want to say that Maria, the owner of my local needlework shop called Stitches Central, commented to me that there is one other difference in her opinion with regards to Sullivan's and DMC. She finds that the fiber within the cotton of Sullivan's is a little bit stronger than DMC, and that if she has to frog an area, she can most of the time reuse the thread as long as she's been very careful when she's doing the unpicking. And that with DMC, most of the time, if she's got more than 2 or 3 stitches to frog, that she has to throw out the DMC. So, and if you're worried about sheen, can you tell a difference between these two in their amount of sheen? I can't really. Now, the third one that I'm going to chat about is on this almost fully finished. I'm just going to tuck it right in here. Again, 353 and 352. The middle that I just popped in is CXC. It is not a cotton fiber, it is an acrylic. Sullivan's is made in the United States. DMC is made in Europe. And CXC is made in Asia. CXC is markedly less expensive than the Sullivans or the DMC. And indeed, you can get an entire range of 447 colors for around $30 Canadian. Now, if you want to order individual skeins, you do have to order it from abroad and then wait for the mail to be delivering it to you. And occasionally it feels like it's been strapped to a duck and just swum across the sea. So you can't be in a hurry to stitch something if you're going to do that kind of an order. But if you think ahead, it does work. There are occasional colors of CXC that don't quite correlate to DMC, but most of them are a reasonably good match, if not an excellent match. So the reason that I'm doing the compare and contrast is that we have reached a point in our world where cost is rising for everything. And I'm concerned that there are going to be people like my daughter who are early in their career or still in university as she is, who will not be able to afford to stitch because of the price of the supplies. I would rather that they stitch with an acrylic and be able to afford to keep stitching to save their sanity than for them to say they can't do it at all. I realize that there are some strong feelings somewhere, not fully sure what the cause is, but there are some people that really feel strongly that CXC should not be used. If it's because it's not a man-made fiber of cotton, you have every right to stitch only with cotton or only with silk if that's what you want to do. If you want to only order your supplies from your home country, I respect that also. But there are options, aren't there? And that's what these compare and contrast sessions are about. If you would like to have another opportunity to hear somebody else's opinion on the comparison of DMC and CXC, please go to the Sleepy Stitcher. About 10 days ago, she posted a 10-minute video where she chatted about this and was letting everybody know what the different benefits are of these. For instance, CXC is slightly fluffier because it's acrylic. Think about those acrylic socks that you love to wear that are so soft. They're that little bit fluffier. Well, that means that if you're stitching with one strand on 32, as you saw me do on a recent floss tube with my True North, one strand gives you coverage on 32. So for me, that's a benefit because I prefer to stitch with one strand. And again, that doesn't necessarily have to be your choice. So there you have it. 3 options of thread that all look the same. So up to you what you stitch with, but I thought I'd let you know about it. Until the next time that I compare something, bye-bye for now.